not only with the RAF but also the Royal Canadian Air Force, the Finnish and the Yugoslav Air Forces as well.
Yeah, it's rather lacklustre service record. Gretchen asks more important the Blenheim was the first aircraft to be built through the shadow factory system that was so essential in supporting the production of engine bombers later in the war. It really was in that direction as well. It also carried the first airborne radar used for night fighting in 1940. The Germans switched from daylight raids to night raids during the winter, and interception in a single-engine aircraft is extremely difficult. It became slightly easier in the Blenheim, especially if you had a rather modest sort of radar system. At least it was something to tell you that you were near an enemy aircraft. And very often the exhausts were not masked, so you could actually see an airframe. The initial prototype of the Blenheim was actually the Type 142, which consistently with the German description of light mail plane, which they used on their prototype bombers. That was pretty much what the 142 was intended to be. But its potential can be seen by particularly Lord Rothermere, who pushed for it to be turned into a bomber.
Throughout its 4,422 aircraft production run, various marks of the Blenheim could carry typically around about 1,200 pounds of bombs and up to 5 Browning machine guns on board. Even so, as we've said, it was outdated very early on in the Second World War.
Low pass. Tremendous flying.
The others where they're supposed to go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the return of the tide formation. And the time off of the port wing is the chief pilot, Paul Stone. No pressure at all. And the first wing is already sort of happening pulled away. But that's why the chief pilot will now be back on shore. The weather conditions are going to be challenging.
To actually compliment commissions to provide the German Air Force with Type aircraft to realise.
Harry Hawker was Soccer's chief test pilot at the time, and he started on a series of unscheduled routes abroad, which greatly impressed the operators. Probably scared them to pieces, though, Tommy Sutherland, who was watching on, thinking, that's my plane, I've invested in that. But such was his confidence in the aircraft that Hawker was quite happy to perform those manoeuvres. One observer on the ground commentated that it looked like a drunken fighter jet.
One of the advantages we have here in Shuttleworth is that Clayton and Shuttleworth were actually commissioned to, or contracted to, produce these aircraft in numbers. So it's built by the Northern Aeroplane Workshops, totally original spec, original engine, flies very well, it's very comfortable.
Unfortunately, it's very comfortable, it's got like pipes to maintain. So you can feel the oil tanks, you have to take the heat off to get into the fuselage, and obviously that metal plate on the ground with the socket panel was its replacement, and was accelerated into service because of these engine routines.
To be registered in Kenya.
To a coffee plantation manager, wasn't it?
That's right.
Hence its name is Kenya.
Well, the colour scheme it's in at the moment was to mark the centenary of the foundation of the original company that became BA, or BOAC and then BA. Flying from Heston after, in 1919, over to Paris.
As if the only surviving example of just 3 of this type that were built isn't enough to put it in the aviation history books. It's also the sole surviving example of a DH-51, but she's the oldest airworthy de Havilland aircraft in the world. And she's here.
Yep.
Old Warden is her home.
So it's fantastic. We, one of the guys who used to work here, sadly no longer with us, was an ex-RAF group captain, and he was a navigator in a Lincoln, and remembers they were flying on operations out in Kenya during the Troubles, and he found this aircraft in a hangar in Nairobi and reported it, and that's how the collection became aware of it.
Yeah, it was dismantled, put in the back of a Blackburn Beverley transport aircraft and flown over to Britain from Kenya by the RAF. It was restored to flying condition and joined the collection here at Shuttleworth way back in 1973, so long-term member of the collection is the DH-51 Miss Kenya.
The other thing you might have noticed is the registration, which begins after the G for the UK. It begins with an E rather than an A. And the decision to change to an A was made effective from August 1928, when they moved to the A register. The very first aircraft registered was a de Havilland aircraft. But the very last one registered is also a de Havilland. That's a Tiger Moth. And it's still flying, and I've flown in it. Alpha Zulu Zulu.